One, 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 one. Welcome to the one-on-one. When it comes to ratings, man, we number one. I get the truth, then I give them the scoop. If anybody got a question, I give them the proof. Welcome to the one-on-one. When it comes to ratings, man, we number one. I get the truth, then I give them the scoop. If anybody got a question, I give them the proof. Welcome to One-on-One at Legacy Maker Sports Network.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. It is a season 5 interview finale, and I can't believe we're already at the end. 12 interviews in the books, and I get to finish it off today with one of my close friends in the industry. I'm very proud of this young man because I've seen him grow in this industry like no other. And every year, this man is taking a different step to take it to that next level. So I am very, very excited today, ladies and gentlemen, to have with me today Mr. Larry Patterson. He is the founder and owner of the GameTime Sports Network. Larry, how are you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm blessed, man, to receive a opportunity on the one-on-one. I've been watching this since you created it, and I'm like, man, I wonder what it's like to have a one-on-one. Now I got my own one-on-one, so man, I feel good though.
Well, glad to have you on, man. Like I said, and people know I say this every episode. When I bring you on here, I bring you on here because you've done something special. You're doing great things, or people that I really admire in the game, and you're one of those people, man. You're hardworking, the grind doesn't stop. I've personally had a chance to see you work hard throughout this whole time frame since we've known each other almost for like 4 or 5 years now, which is crazy work. Like, you don't really think about it, but we've known each other for like 4 or 5 years now. So yeah. So for me, this one was one that I was very excited to be able to have you come on, man. So I'm glad to have you here. But we start all of these, ladies and gentlemen, with the check-in. All right, Larry. So look, we're going to start off by checking in on you, your family, your friends. How's everything right now with Larry Patterson?
Honestly, everything couldn't be better, man. Like, I'm truly blessed. I think God is really doing something with me right now, pointing me in the right directions, answering some of my prayers that I've been praying for, and putting me in buildings that I never thought I'd be in. So it's a dream come true, and just some of the opportunities even that I got from you. Man, I'm just blessed. I couldn't be more happy.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Like when everything just starts to come together, you're like, this is coming together just the way I like it. But man, it's
doing something that you love too. Like I've been loving sports since I was a kid. So just to go out there, and I know I started a little late, but to get out here on the high school circuit and just see these guys go up and down the field and, man, just put their bodies on the line. Man, I love it.
Yeah, that's the like kind of the thing that a lot of people don't really get a chance to see is the grind behind the closed doors and all the hard work that is put in, all the money that you spend trying to make this dream work. The best part about it is you love it so much that the money doesn't matter. But people be shocked sometimes on how much you probably put into doing what you love.
And not getting anything really back.
That's the part.
It's just based off pure passion. And if you can do something without currency in return, it's like you love it. And I truly love it. So yeah.
That's the thing. That's the thing, y'all. So if you're trying to get in this game, sometimes you're going to have to make those sacrifices. But I'm like Larry, I started late in the game. So, I've always wanted to be a part of the game. There was parts of it in there with me, but to go full throttle the way I have, I've only been doing this now for 7 years. Then that 7 years went by fast, but a lot of good times in the process. But Larry, let's get into little Larry. I'm talking about 7, 8, 9-year-old Larry. I want to know where your passion for sports came from. When you were small, what gravitated you towards sports? Like, what made you fall in love with sports? What gave you the passion that you have today?
Just watching different players, like watching the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo, let me tell you, like a lot of people don't know this. The Buffalo Bills were actually like my first team. And I think one of my parents' friends had a Buffalo Bills hat. And I was like, I like that logo. So like logos always meant something to me. So I was like, I like that. And then as I grew older, you may root for one team, but you fall in love with another team as you grow older, and you like that team. But I said the Buffalo Bills were one, and I want to say my hatred for Michael Jordan.
Whoa, wait a minute. Hatred for Michael Jordan. Continue, sir. Look, continue, sir.
You know I'm a Knicks fan.
Okay, so that makes sense. That makes sense.
And I'm a Knicks fan. I'm an early Knicks fan. So like just seeing him just seeing Mike back in the day just get his way, and the way he would dominate too. It was just like, man, like I respect it, but I don't like this dude.
I can't stand this guy.
That not even thinking about respect. He's just like, I don't like this guy. But as you get older, you really see the work that he put in. It's like I respect it. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, and I can understand the hate for Jordan under your circumstance completely. Yeah, Jordan didn't give a lot of us, I started off kind of a Jordan fan, but I wasn't a Bulls fan. I just like watching Michael Jordan play. And I didn't come into my fandom until I was probably about like 94-ish. That's when I became a Heat fan. Like 94, 95 is when that time frame when Zoe went from Charlotte to Miami is when I became once I became a fan. So yeah, I mean it's interesting. It's interesting. So, Larry, you had those times where you get that passion for the sports, but now I kind of want to know, how did we get to this point? How did you get to the point where you are where you are right now? How did how did the career get started? What gave you the itch to jump into the sports journalism world?
I always wanted to jump into it. I just never, I didn't find myself at the time. And then, like I'm always watching sports constantly. All TV's always on Sports Center, but just didn't know like what direction, where to go to. So I remember I was working with a friend of mine named Cody Owens. I don't know if you know Cody Owens, but
yeah, like we cousins, but we not. If he's from Amelia, we cousins, but we not.
So I remember he helped me design one of the logos to it, and to the blimp. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to decide what figure am I going to use, like, because I need something to make this thing pop, and I'm like, a blimp. So you got the Goodyear blimp, but this blimp can be totally different. And then I'm like, well, what am I going to do with it? Like, and just can't just do just 2 or 3 different colors and that's it. I'm like, well, maybe I'll just put 5 colors on it, and the 5 brightest colors. And those 5 colors, it represents the 5 major sports platforms in America, which is NBA, NFL, NHL, NCAA, and MLB. And that's how I came up with that. And then I also come up with the blimp is just not, well, it has something to do with sports, obviously, but it's also a representation of the slow grind. Like, if you take your time and you build it right, eventually you're going to see everything as you're going up. And when you're up there, you get to see everything that you built. And that's one thing that's what I'm on right now. I'm in that stage right now. I'm cruising up, and eventually I'm going to be looking down and seeing everything that I built. And I'm just enjoying the ride.
That's a beautiful way to put it, brother. I really, And it's funny because, like the Goodyear blimp is at every event, every big major sporting event. So it kind of symbolizes that to an extent, where it's like one day I'm gonna be at every major sporting event. The blimp will be everywhere.
Maybe us and the Goodyear blimp can slap hands on the on the way back.
Slap hands. Like, hey, what's up, Goodyear blimp? That's awesome, man. Well, now obviously you do a lot of great things within the area. You've been doing a lot of recently doing your tour of the James River District. Now, for those out there, you're like, James River District. Now, this is something that's close to me and Larry heart because I'm from Amelia. Larry is from Prince Edward. We are in the James River District, so we've had a chance to kind of, see, these teams all our lives. There are schools, there's our surrounding schools in our area, so the district is very important to us. But Larry, you went on a tour of the James River District, and you had a chance to kind of, see these teams, and in seeing these teams, you came up with a ranking of where you kind of see these teams right now. Kind of explain to me, break down your ranking real quick, and why do you have the ranking the way you have it?
Well, I'm gonna start at the bottom. And there's no disrespect to Prince Edward or Randolph Henry, but they just two teams that I have not been able to look at yet, due to life and just scheduling, But I will get out there. But I also did the rankings based on a record from last year, and even though I'm not at Prince Edward, like I'm still kind of in the know of what's going on over there. So I dropped them to 6. They lost a lot of guys. They lost Dewan Little. They lost Zaquan James. They lost a little bit, and I'm gonna have to put them down at 6. Randolph Henry, we're gonna know more about within the next week or so, but I feel like I've seen Nottoway, and I feel like Nottoway is good enough to be at that 4 spot right now. Lunenburg, I feel like they're good enough to be at that 3 spot. They're a tough team, fast, physical. The double wing, how they do every year. Amelia, I wrestle with the fact of Amelia and Buckingham, because Amelia, they lost some talent. They also still have some talent that's moving up, and they went further in the tournament, all the way to the regional final. Versus Buckingham, I mean, yeah, they lost talent too, but they also still have a ton of load of talent. As if you haven't seen the video, you can see the speed on Buckingham. So I did, by them being James River District champions, by the way, me witnessing of what I saw, I put Buckingham at 1. I put Amelia at 2. Those that want to kill me, hey, this is just the first week. This is the preseason. You can either go one or 2. Buckingham could be at 2, Amelia could be at 1, but right now I got Buckingham at 1, Amelia at 2. So let's just wait till the first couple of weeks play out and see what happened then.
Let's see. If I give my rankings, I might get beat up. Well, I will say this. Me and Larry kind of have the same ranking, and there's no disrespect to my hometown, because I bleed green and gold all day, every day. But with Amelia, they did lose a lot of players, and so you're kind of trying to figure out what this team is going to look like. They do have Sterling Smith coming back to be the quarterback. He was going to start last year before a season-ending injury in the preseason took him out, and so now he's back, junior year. He had a really good baseball season. He's ready for this. Like, they were calling him Tom Brady over there. They get OTB 12 out there. But the kid has an arm, and I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to bring this year for the Raiders. Buckingham gave Amelia trouble in the game in Buckingham for the James River District last year, and Buckingham seems like they're ready, especially from what I've seen on from your videos, from the clips that you brought in. Like, they look like they're ready for another run. And then Nottoway has the reigning James River District Player of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. He's still there, right?
Yeah, Anton, he's a junior. He's
a junior, and he won the James River District Player of the Year as a sophomore. So that tells you that they're not going to be no pushover when you got to deal with that young man. And then Lunenburg is Lunenburg. You know what they're going to bring every single year. So I toyed between Lunenburg and Amelia being 2 and 3. So I think you can kind of flip that either way right now. I'm just excited for football, man. I am sad to see that Cumberland is not going to be playing this year, even though a lot of people saw Cumberland sometimes as a step over or oh, that's an easy win or whatever. It ain't got nothing to do with that. I just hate to see that those kids are not going to get the opportunity to play this year.
Especially those seniors, and then the juniors, they lose out in a year too. But I look at it like it's a gift and a curse because at least your JV gets to play. At least your JV gets a chance to blend in together and know one another and develop that bond to go into next year if you do get a varsity. So I feel like Cumberland is on one step coming up. They didn't even 2 years ago. They didn't even have stands. They
They
didn't even
didn't.
have
I
bleachers
remember
out
that.
there. That was lawn chairs. And last year they ended up building, stands for people to sit in. So I feel like it's a step by step thing. You don't have a varsity this year, but I feel like it's something is brewing up over there. But we just have to see what happens for the rest of the year.
Yeah, we've seen it happen. Heck, it happened to Amelia back in like 1997. I remember as a kid, we didn't have a varsity team. Our JV team didn't have a varsity team that one year. We thought that was weird, and but they will bounce back. There will be kids that'll be ready to rock and roll in Cumberland County, and we can't wait to see it. So James River District should be fun this year. Now, moving from high school, it's gonna skip college. Sorry, college, but we're gonna move to the NFL and talk about a team that is near and dear to your heart. The Denver Broncos. Last season, 8-9, finished third in the AFC West. Had a chance at the end to make the playoffs. Just didn't go their way. 19th in offense, 29th in defense last year. They traded Russell Wilson and then drafted Bo Nix. What are your thoughts about this team heading into this season? Sean Payton, this is his second year, correct?
Second year, yeah.
Yeah, this is the second year for Sean Payton, and he's very high on Bo Nix. What are your thoughts about this year's Denver Broncos, and what do you want to see from them?
I feel like this is a year of growth for Denver. Now, am I expecting playoffs? Of course not. But you see how CJ Stroud took the Texans to the playoffs as a rookie. I'm not saying Bo Nix is going to do that, but from what I seen in the preseason, it looks damn good. And it looks like a quarterback that gets the ball out of his hands quick. And that's what you want out of your quarterback. So I'm happy with what we have in Bo Nix, with the potential that we have in Bo Nix. I'm also, people may look at me crazy, but I'm also happy with the fact that Zach Wilson is also on that team where he gets to learn from Sean Payton. Sean Payton, if let's face it, if Sean Payton wasn't on Denver last year, Russell Wilson still probably would have looked like 2022 Russell.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So, you have a quarterback now with a quick release. I'm sad Tim Patrick got released after coming off of 2 straight seasons with season-ending injuries. But in this, it's business in this league. I like the young guys that we have coming up, especially the linebacker that we got, Lavelle Bailey out of Fresno State. We've been needing a middle linebacker since like Al Wilson.
Sheesh. Al Wilson. Woo-wee, that's a toss back, man. It's been a while.
Wesley Woodyard kind of filled in that role for a year or so. It just wasn't the same, man. Yeah. I'm excited to see growth in him. Pat Surtain probably would change the DB market in a year or so whenever he gets paid. So I'm excited about the young talent that we have over there, and I'm expecting this to surprise some people this year.
Yeah, I feel like there are gonna be a couple games you'll be like, whoa, where does Denver team come from? Like, so I fully expect that too. I still think there's a chance they could finish third in this division. They could even finish second in this division because outside of the Chiefs, you really don't know what the Chargers have Herbert, but he's hurt. And even with that, he doesn't really have any receivers. That defense is always nicked up. Then if you look at the Raiders, they're still trying to figure out quarterback. You got probably the best receiver in the league, at least top 2, top 3 receiver in the league. You got to make him happy. And the last 2 years have been rough on him, and he wants to be happy, But it sound like they finally found the right coach, but do they have the right pieces to grow that thing? And then then you got Denver, so it's just like it's a battle for second place, at least for now, unless Patrick Mahomes get hurt, and then we got to see Carson Wentz show. God knows we don't.
And it's like, but the Chiefs, the rich get richer. You got to respect the way that I hate them with a passion, but you got to you got to respect the way that they draft and the way that they make free agent moves. All their business moves. Like they're grade A, and it's like, how did you get to this point? Because we were kicking ass, seemed like just years ago. It's like now we're getting our asses kicked. So it's just the ultimate payback, I guess. But yeah, you just have no other choice but to respect it. And I'm glad I got to witness Patrick Mahomes in person myself. That's a tremendous talent.
Right. Well, you did beat them last year. I mean, so you did get a dub over the. You did get a dub over the. Heck, we beat them last year. Go Pack, go! We beat them last year. So like we got dubs over the champions. We may have not won the Super Bowl or whatever, but we did beat the champs last year. All right, now it is time for. What'd you say, Larry?
I think y'all want to come up too, man.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I don't want to get too excited yet because I feel like I just they got a really tough schedule this year, so I'll reserve judgment and to see how the rest of the year goes. All right. Now let's head to my favorite segment. It is time for Quick Ones. All right, Larry, are you ready for the Larry Patterson version of Quick Ones here on 101?
Let's go.
All right, first one. Favorite sports moment?
My favorite sports moment was when we can go way back.
You can do it you can pick anything. It could be your favorite sports moment as a player. It could be a sports moment like you watching as a fan. What is your favorite sports moment?
I didn't have too many sports moments as a player because I got laid on my ass when I was. You know what? I like looking at this from the side. Like I'm not a good competitor. I get mad and I'm like, whatever. So I just like I like analyzing it from the sideline. And but my favorite sports moment, I would have to say when Demaryius Thomas, rest in peace, when he caught the slant from Tim Tebow. In the wild card round game against the Steelers. And that was a great moment for me. I remember my cousin, former head coach for Prince Edward, he's a Steelers fan. So that brings a little extra icing on the cake right there.
a little joy to your heart.
Yeah.
Oh man. On the next one, let's go from favorite to worst. Your worst sports moment.
My worst sports moment when. All right, so I have two. But the most one that I'm gonna go with is when Raheem Moore from the Denver Broncos at the time, he was a safety. And rest in peace to Jacoby Jones.
I knew where it was going.
Divisional round game through the 73-yard bomb. And Raheem Moore, he's going back. He's like he's got his eye on the ball, and he jumps too soon. If he had just
waited,
timed it perfectly, but he jumped and then he fell, and then Jacoby Jones just took it in the end zone, took it to overtime. You know the rest.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry. I hate to bring up bad memories. I'm sorry. The next one. Your favorite athlete of all time?
My favorite athlete of all time, Shaquille O'Neal. That's what had me. He had me starting to love basketball. I remember having a poster of Shaquille O'Neal. That was my first jersey. I remember I had the jersey and I had the short set too, and I had my Shaq's on. I had my Shaq's on. I had a Shaq poster when he was rapping. The Shaq was my guy back then.
You can't stop the rain. That's my jam. Him and Biggie. That's on the playlist. That's top 20 for me.
Yes.
That's people's like, what song is this? They said Shaq and Biggie made a song. Oh yes, they did. Oh yes, they did. So yeah,
Yes.
that's top 20 all time songs. Period. Is You Can't Stop the Rain with Shaquille O'Neal featuring Biggie, Notorious B.I.G. So if you haven't heard it, go check it out. You missing on greatness. Next one. Two fun ones. First one, worst comedian ever. Who do you just don't like as a comedian?
Pete
They're not
Davidson.
funny to you. Pete Davidson is a good one.
I do not like Pete Davidson.
He's just not funny.
He's just not funny.
But yet he gets all the women. Crazy work. Like Kim Kardashian, Ariana Grande. Come on down, Pete Davidson.
It's weird.
I guess women love guys who are funny, supposedly, and I agree with you. I love Saturday Night Live. He's not like my favorite character. I watched his comedy special and I wasn't like it didn't, it wasn't over the top. I don't hate him, but he's definitely not one that's like, oh my God, he's in there. He's one of my favorites. So I can see that. Pete Davis is a solid one. All right, last one. Here's the fun one now. I've been using this the last couple of weeks on the show because I always get interesting answers. So I'd say I'm gonna stick with it. You're producing a movie about your life. Okay. You can put 3 celebrities in there and technically flow all together. One celebrity is playing yourself, who's going to play you, and then you got 3 celebrities that are just going to be in the movie, playing different parts. Who's playing you, and who are the 3 celebrities in the movie?
Who's playing me?
Oh yeah, this is my favorite part.
Who's playing me? Oh man, you got me right here.
Look, you can always name your other ones first, and then try to figure out yours as you go. Look.
So I'm gonna name my other ones first.
Okay.
I'm gonna name it. Can we use deceased people or no?
Yeah. Doesn't matter.
I would use Bernie Mac as an uncle.
Okay, that's a good one.
I would use Craig's mom as an aunt. I don't know her name.
Shirley from shoot.
Amen.
Dang. Yeah. She played in Amen. She was in Amen, and she was also dang, I can't think of the other show, but she was a little Good Times. No, not Good Times. She was in What's Happening. She was in What's Happening with Rerun. She was in that. Yeah, I think she was in What's Happening. So I think she was in What's Happening. That was her first like big show. But she was a little kid in What's Happening. Then she was in Sean and Marlon. Then she was in Wayans Brothers. And then, and for whatever reason, I can't think of her name neither for nothing right now. But I know exactly what you're talking about. That's not Shirley. It's gonna bother me.
I would use Cedric the Entertainer to play me.
Hey, you know what though? Hey, look, Cedric's a good one. You got me looking this up. And but no, Cedric's a good, because Cedric's to me has always been, people like knock him sometimes and say, oh, he's maybe not a he's not a funny. I've always loved Cedric Entertainer. Cedric Entertainer is like, to me, like on the Kings of Comedy. Like, I love Bernie Mac, but I wasn't a big like I love Bernie Mac, but I wasn't a big like at the time like a guy who loves people that cuss a lot. Bernie cuss a lot, but he was still funny as crap. Yeah. So out of those guys on the tour, I always thought Cedric part was the funniest. I just love Cedric. I watch his show now. I love Cedric. So Cedric's a good one.
Yeah. Cedric, and I had one more, right?
Yeah, you got one more.
I would pick Monique as my mom. Why did I say that?
Whoa. Like she gonna be playing the Precious role?
Not Precious role, but for
from the Parkers?
It's Parker.
Yeah. Parkers. Hold on. All right. Okay. So all right. All right. So the mom, Anne Marie Horsford, that's her name. Anna Marie Horsford is the name of for mom from Friday. I can't get the words out, but the mom from Friday, that's her name, Anne Marie Horsford.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. There you go. So we got Anne Marie. We
Anne
got
Marie.
Anne Marie. We got Cedric Entertainer, Bernie Mac, and Monique playing your mom. But as Miss Parker now, we got to make sure that's clarified. Not Precious version of Monique, not the Oscar winner. Give me the Parker. I love it.
Child Protective Service.
I love it, Larry. I love it. All right, everybody. That is it for the Larry Patterson version of Quick Ones. And now let's go ahead and finish this up with Leave Your Legacy. All right, Larry. Look, man, we want to thank you, man, for coming on and joining us for this one-on-one and finishing the season the right way with somebody I know who's been grinding so hard in this industry. But now it's time for you to leave your legacy. So the first part of your legacy that we want to be left, when it's time for everything to be said and done, and you're sitting back and you done retired the mic and you sitting back and watching, Larry Jr. out there, taking over the business and all that good stuff. What do you want people to say about, Larry Patterson when it comes to what he's done in the sports world?
That he put his all into anything that he did, whether it was interviews, whether it was filming, whether it was, doing photography, now, which I'm not a perfectionist at it, but I'm growing. So I just want people to remember me as trying to do my best. Yeah, that's it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. People gonna be like, I remember the guy with the blimp. There it is. Got it at the bottom. Dude with the blimp. Hey, look. Hey, what? But see, people don't realize how smart of a marketing strategy that is. Because when people see you, they gonna, if they don't know your name, they gonna know the blimp. That part. They gonna know the blimp. That's the part. And the last thing, do you got any special projects going on right now? Anything you want to tell us about? And then let people know where they can find you, sir.
As far as special projects, other than just putting these kids, giving these kids a platform to practice or show what they did in the game. I want to be able to take this whole thing serious. Stats, everything, man. Just doing it the right way, not just in the James River District, but everywhere where football and sports is not taken seriously. And I just feel like it was just maybe placed on me just to continue to do this. I love doing it, and I love just helping people. And if I can help a young kid get into college, and do something positive with themselves, well, and I understand everybody doesn't like sports and whatnot, and that's cool. But if I can help one kid, whether it's a girl or a boy, get into college, hey, that's you right there. Oh, okay. Yeah, like that. I can't help any other way, but if I can, film, if I can film you and put you on film and people see that, and you handle all the rest as far as grades and your character and all that, then hey, man, I feel like I'm doing my part. So
that's awesome.
I keep helping people.
That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. Let them know where they can find you, man. How do they reach Larry Patterson?
Reach me at GameTime Sports Network. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube at that same address. Instagram at GameTime 365 Sports. That's where the hot ticket is, because that's where all the action is.
That's where all the action is. Look, I feel you on that, brother.
No, man, those high school kids represent, man, and that's what I'm building. That's what I want.
Right.
So yeah, that's where you can reach me at. I'm also on GT365SN. You can reach me there too. After my videos, you can see the big orange thing where it's got all my listings on it. Go ahead and follow your boy, man.
Yeah, go do that. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Larry, man. Larry's been working hard for years. I've been able to see the process. It's been a beautiful thing. And yes, it's amazing how the youth can really help the businesses. I know, like with Legacy Maker, same dream. If it wasn't for the young kids and their parents really showing love in the beginning and kind of growing from there, I don't know where we would be. And we've had great opportunities around. So I do appreciate. Before we leave, next week, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. It is time. It is coming back. The power rankings are returning. And so next week, now that we have concluded our interview session, it'll be the power rankings, the one-on-one version of power rankings from now until the end of the season. I'm very excited to bring it back this year. Next week's show is going to be a little bit longer than normal for me by myself. Normally, I'm about 30, 20 minutes, but 30 to 40 minutes. It might be a little bit longer next week because I'm doing a little bit extra for that episode. But I'm very excited to bring you week one of the one-on-one power rankings next week. This will be our fourth season doing power rankings. And it's crazy because, Larry, I remember when I started doing the power rankings, I was like, whoa. And now we're in season 4. And so I got stats and everything that I keep laid out from the years past. I was working on it last night, but I'm all excited to bring the fourth year of the power rankings here in season 5. I'm excited.
Yeah, I know your brain is going to be wrecked by like week 6.
No, well, so it's funny because every year that I do them, people get mad at me because the first way I used to do it was I would do the power rankings based off of the record. I'd be like, okay, not just straight up what the record was, but let's say that there were 5 people that were 6-2. Okay, so if you had a worse record than that, you couldn't be above them. I would always like group like you can only beat who's put in front of you, and then I would rank them that way. So there were years that I got crucified because I remember one year Dallas had a worse record than Minnesota, but they beat Minnesota. Like they beat the brakes off of Minnesota, but I still had Minnesota above them. And people just like, that doesn't even make sense. It does. Because the way I do my records is if you got a better record, that's what goes. Okay, if you beat them or not. You got a better record. That's what it is. Now, I changed that philosophy a little bit since then. But I got crucified in the beginning for that. But it does kind of stick that way initially until the teams get established. And as the season goes along, that's when it started like, okay, no, this team is obviously better than that one. They slipped up here and there. And there. But yeah, I used to do it that way because I was like, oh, this is the least controversial way. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
Because you can have a 6-2 team that has been playing in a poor schedule,
right?
And they might not even be playing the best football. They might be winning those games by like the Giants were a couple years ago by the hairs of their chinny chin chin. And it was like, so would you put them above a team like San Francisco that's maybe 6-2? That San Francisco maybe 4-2. They had 2 bad, like something like that. That's where I like last year. I started to get into like, nah, I gotta do a little bit more thinking on this one. Minnesota didn't look good right here. 49ers didn't look good right, So yeah, I used to do like that too. But
Bro,
now I'm like, nah.
Man, they crucified me, man. They crucified me. I was like, no more. So like I said, and the strategy is kind of the same.
Did you hear me?
No, what'd you say?
I said, wait till they see these James River District rankings.
Yeah, they're gonna fight. They might fight both of us. They be like, you let them put it up there. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. Like, I mean, that's his rankings, man. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, and I co-signed on it, so we both might be in trouble. All right, everybody, that is it for this is it for episode 137 of One-on-One here on the Legacy Maker Sports Network, and of course, Aaron on the Amazing Bowie Television. We'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. Larry, thank you for joining me for the I always get it mixed up, but the interview finale here on season 5. And I really appreciate you coming on for that. Very excited about next week in the power rankings, year 4 of that one. Episode 138 will be next week. Larry, once again, brother, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for inviting me, man. Thank you for everything that you do. I literally wouldn't be what I am, or growing into what I'd be without you. You told me to start local. You gave me the best advice, and I'm just riding the wave, man.
Don't worry, brother. We're going to get there. As one of my friends, Raphael Haynes, say, I see you at the top, brother. We're going to make it happen. I'm Darrell Owens. That's Larry Patterson of the GameTime Sports Network. We'll see you all next time.
one, 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 one. Welcome to the one-on-one. When it comes to ratings, man, we number one. I get the truth, then I give them the scoop. If anybody got a question, I give them the proof.